So, ang papag-usapan po natin for today is yung kaso po between Congressman Abante and Congressman Chua, yung congressman po sa 6th District of Manila, okay? So, alam naman po natin yung pinaka-issue nun currently is na talo po sa COMELEC case si Congressman Uy. Tapos ngayon, gusto ipaproclaim si Congressman Abante, tapos biglang naglabas ng decision yung Supreme Court. Although hindi po related sa kaso nila, pero yung issue po na tinakel dun sa Supreme Court case is medyo related. Kaya po ngayon, biglang nagkagulo na yung taong bayan kung ano na ba talaga yung status po ng kaso between Abante and Uy, kung applicable ba yung Supreme Court decision, okay? Pero anyway po, we will be having 5 main questions to be discussed for today. Yung number 1 po dyan is kung ano na ba talaga ang status ng kaso between the parties. Number 2, kung talo na po ba talaga si Kong Uy. Number 3, paano naman daw naging councilor na si Kong Uy. Tapos ngayon, biglang bawal daw siya maging congressman. Bakit daw naging ganun? Okay, and then number 4, paano naman yung Supreme Court decision regarding yung sa pagbawal na or pagtanggal ng Supreme Court ng second place rule, kung paano yun siya mag-apply dito sa case na ito. And then last main question po natin is kung sino na ba talaga sa ngayon ang totoong congressman ng Manila 6th District. Okay, so good everybody. This is Attorney Neil Abayon po, your quote-unquote favorite DDS lawyer, at yan po lahat explain at papag-usapan po natin for today's video. Pero bago po tayo mag-start, this will be just another quick promotion lang po sa Facebook page ko. Malapit na po kasi mag 100,000 subscribers doon, kaya medyo tinutulak ko na lang para ma-reach na natin yan, okay? So sa lahat po ng mahilig dyan magmaritesan, magchismisan, mas madami pong ganun sa Facebook page ko. So basically dito po ako mas nag-upload ng mga regular updates, like tulad po nito, nabibigay ko yung schedule for this video. And then meron din po akong mga tito jokes dyan and mga daddy jokes, yung sabi pa nga nila sa Amerika. Pero sa atin po mas common tito jokes yung common na ginagamit eh. So anyway, yan, kung gusto po ninyo yung mga regular updates, then yan, nagsishare din po ako every now and then ng family pictures. And also mga flashback photos po, meron din tayo dyan. Okay, so ito po. Bahala na po kayo mag-decipher nitong photo na to kung ano yung interpretation nyo dyan. Pero anyway po, yung username is the same pa rin naman po yan. Sa lahat po ng social media account, same lang po yung username ko. It is Attorney Neil Abayon po. Meron din po tayong TikTok, meron din tayong Instagram. So anyway, kung gusto nyo po i-follow lahat yun, follow lang po kayo. And of course, kung nasa YouTube po kayo nanonood at you enjoy this video or any of my past videos, huwag nyo po kalimutan naman mag-subscribe sa YouTube. Okay, wala pong bayad yan sa YouTube. Sa Facebook, TikTok may bayad. So hindi nyo po kailangan mag-subscribe doon. Follow lang po is more than enough. Okay? Ngayon, start na po tayo sa discussions natin. Okay, so yung first question po natin is kung ano na ba talaga yung status ng kaso between the parties Abante and Uy. So ang pinaka-latest update po natin dyan is makita po natin from the COMELEC social media page po, specifically sa Facebook account po nila. So I tried searching for this decision po, itong SPC number 25-006 sa COMELEC website, pero wala pa po dun eh. And up to June 17 pa lang po yung latest update nila. Is this one po is dated already June 18. But anyway po, for SPC number 25-006, ito po yung against Luis Joey Chua Uy, yung kalaban po ni Kong Abante for Member House of Representatives 6th District, the City of Manila, and decided by the COMELEC 2nd Division po is that number 1, yung decision po nila doon is respondent is considered a non-candidate and his COC is void ab initio. So dito po hindi nila specify, but I'm sure naman po well aware tayo based on multiple news reports already na yung ground is dahil daw hindi siya natural born Filipino citizen si Kong Joey Chua Uy, kaya po pinakancel yung COC niya. Okay? And then pangalawa po dyan is that the proclamation of respondent is annulled and that Bienvenido Benny Mirando Abante Jr. declared as a duly elected member House of Representatives 6th District of the City of Manila, COMELEC 2nd Division. Okay? So unang-una po ang kailangan natin i-take note talaga dito is this one, COMELEC 2nd Division pa lang po yung nag-decide. And pangalawa pong kailangan natin i-take note dito is yung proclamation of respondent is annulled. Okay? So number 1 po, hindi pa po NBank yung nag-decide dito or hindi pa po Supreme Court ang nag-decide. COMELEC 2nd Division pa lang po yan. Meaning meron pa pong appeal process na pwede i-exhaust dito si Congressman Joey Chua Uy. Unang-una po mag-motion for reconsideration siya sa NBank. More or less parang same po to dun sa Duterte Youth Party List case yung in-explain ko po. Ganun din po yung procedure niyan. So mag-motion for reconsideration siya sa COMELEC NBank. And then yung motion for reconsideration po, yan yung tawag. Although in a sense, it is somewhat similar po to an appeal in regular cases. So when you say COMELEC NBank na po yung yung mag-handle ng motion for reconsideration, yung buong COMELEC na po yan. Lahat po ng commissioners, 6 sila plus the chairman. So 7 na po yung magde-decide or 7 na po yung taong involved sa kasong ito once mag-MR nga dun sa NBank, okay? And then after po sa COMELEC NBank ngayon, meron pa po yung appeal process sa Supreme Court. Assuming matalo po si Congressman Joey Chua Uy din sa NBank, pwede pa po siya mag-appeal niyan sa Supreme Court, okay? So hindi pa po tapos ang laban or ang kaso between the parties kay Kong Abante and Kong Joey Chua Uy, okay? And then yung second pong kailangan natin i-take note dito is ito pong proclamation of respondent is annulled. Ibig sabihin po at present, since hindi pa nga po final tong decision na to, ang currently proclaimed na congressional candidate na nanalo is si Joey Chua Uy pa po. Siya yung naproklama pa. Yun pa rin po yung status talaga at present. Since again, this decision by the COMELEC Second Division is not yet final. It is still subject to appeal or to MR sa COMELEC NBank. Then later on, kung matalo, pwede pa po yan mag-appeal naman sa Supreme Court. Okay, so ipakita ko lang din po sa inyo yung rules of procedure sa Commission on Elections. Okay, so kung makita po ninyo, COMELEC Rules of Procedure, and then punta po na tayo niyan ngayon sa Rule 18. Okay, Rule 18, decisions po to ng COMELEC Division and COMELEC NBank. Okay, so sa Section 13 po, yung masusunod is yung letter B for this case, Special Actions and Special Cases. Yung mga disqualification cases po kasi or yung mga petition to cancel a COC, yung kaso mismo against Kong Joey Uy is considered po yun as a special case. So dito po, pwede pa mag-appeal kasi kung makikita po ninyo, letter C po muna basahin natin para hindi kayo maguluhan. Unless a motion for reconsideration is reasonably filed, a decision or resolution of a division shall become final and executory after the lapse of 5 days in special actions and special cases. Okay, so yung take note po natin ay decision or resolution of a division. Magiging final and executory lang po siya after the lapse of 5 days. So hindi po natin alam kung ano na ginawa ni Congressman Joey Chua Uy, diba? Kung nag-MR ba talaga siya. Pero for discussion purposes lang po, for this video lang, let's assume na nag-appeal po si Congressman Joey Chua Uy kasi siguro ayaw naman niya matalo, diba? So he will exhaust all his legal remedies. But again, just for discussion and argument purposes, let's assume nag-appeal siya. So pag nag-appeal po siya ngayon, itong decision ng division is hindi pa magiging final and executory. Okay? Therefore, in summary po, para mas hindi na talaga tayo humaba dito sa question number 1 natin, ang status po ng kaso is still more or less with the COMELEC pa lang po talaga. Okay? But again, I am just making assumptions kasi wala na po tayong updates talaga kung ano yung actual na nangyari kasi hindi na natin alam yung pinagagawa ng parties. But for discussion purposes lang, for the purpose of this video, kung nag-appeal po or yung nag-MR si Congressman Joey Chua Uy, hindi pa po tapos ang kaso nila. And yung status po, in relation dun sa first question natin, kung ano ba talaga ng status, is still in the COMELEC level pa rin po yung kaso. Therefore, yung mag-govern pa rin is yung proclamation ni Congressman Joey Chua Uy kasi based dun sa COMELEC decision, gusto nila ipa-annul, diba, yung proclamation. Therefore, since there was already a proclamation tapos hindi pa naman final to, yun pa rin po yung masusunod, yung actual current proclamation ni Congressman Joey Chua Uy. Okay? Ngayon punta po tayo sa second question natin. So yung question number 2 po natin is kung talo na ba talaga si Kong Uy. So I've already touched on this na rin naman po dun sa previous discussion natin. So in summary again, hindi pa po talo si Congressman Joey Chua Uy kasi number 1, he was already proclaimed. Therefore, ang presumption siya yung nanalo. Tapos since nasa COMELEC level pa lang po sila, wala pa naman pong finality sa Supreme Court or sa COMELEC NBank. So yung mag-govern pa rin po is yung current proclamation na ginawa in favor doon kay Congressman Joel Chua Uy. Okay? In short, hindi pa po talo si Congressman Uy at hindi pa po talaga panalo si Congressman Abante sa case. Nasa ano pa po tayo? Actually hindi pa nga po, medyo malayo pa talaga to sa katotohanan kasi nasa division pa lang, kakatapos pa lang po ng division. So yan na lang din po, gusto ko lang din i-clarify yan kasi one of the big misconceptions ngayon is yung pinupukpok nila yung second place rule na decision dun kay Magunda Dato case. So malayo pa po actually before tayo umabot dun because again, we are still in the COMELEC division level pa lang po yung tapos. Meron pa tayong NBank, then from NBank, meron pa tayong Supreme Court. So malayo-layo pa po talaga to. Okay, so yan lang po gusto ko i-clarify. So ngayon punta naman po tayo sa question number 2. Okay, so yung question number 3 po natin is bakit naging councilor na daw si Congressman Uy tapos ngayon biglang bawal mag-congressman. Okay, so ngayon na po papasok yung lagi kong ine-emphasize sa inyo na dapat wag po tayong maghalo-halo ng mga legal issues, wag po tayong maghalo-halo ng facts. So kung ano po yung pinapag-usapan natin na batas, ano yung facts dun sa pinapag-usapan natin, dun lang po talaga dapat tayong mag-stick. Okay, we should not make mixing and matching and we should not make assumptions po sa mga actual legal discussions. Okay, pero kanina gumawa po tayong assumption for discussion and educational purposes lang po yun. Pero kung actual cases na po talaga, wag natin natin gawin yon. Iwasan po natin talaga yung halo-halo at yung mag-assume po tayo ng mga certain situation. Kasi again, yung mangyari po niyan, if you will make assumptions, parang gusto mo lang pumasok sa pabor mo yung argument mo in relation dun sa mga statements or ginawa po ng kalaban ninyo, 'di ba? Dapat hindi po yung ganun. Kung ano lang yung sinabi nila, period, yun lang yung decisionan mo or dun ka lang dapat mag-base ng argument. Okay? Pero anyway, pakita ko po yung legal basis ko kung paano nangyari na si Congressman Uy naging councilor tapos ngayon biglang bawal mag-congressman. So ang rason po kung bakit nakatakbo si Congressman Uy, assuming po na hindi talaga siya natural born Filipino citizen. Again, this is just going to be for discussion purposes lang po yung assumption natin para mas tuloy-tuloy po yung discussion natin. So ang rason po kung bakit ganun is because yung basis po kasi pag tumakbo ka as a councilor is the local government code po of the Philippines. Okay? So under local government code, specifically in in section 39. Yan. So section 39 po, qualifications, elections, and an elective local official must be a citizen of the Philippines. So kung makita po ninyo, yung term na ginamit for local elective positions is citizen of the Philippines lang. Wala pong further qualification binigay yung batas. Therefore, hindi po natin pwede i-correlate na natural born Filipino citizen lang yung pwede tumakbo as a councilor. Yan po yung rason dito. Okay? Whereas naman po, pag sa Congress na kasi yung pinapag-usapan, hindi na po yung local government code yung mag-govern, kundi yung 1987 Philippine Constitution na po natin. Okay, hindi po pwede ito pagbasihan kasi nakalagay po mismo sa Constitution pag Congress na pinapag-usapan. Therefore, following the doctrine of constitutional supremacy, kung nasa Constitution yung requirements, yun lang po yung dapat sundin talaga na qualification. Okay, ngayon punta po tayo muna sa Constitution. Okay, so sa Constitution po, specifically in Article 6, Section 3. Anyway, pakita ko muna yung taas para sigurado tayo. The Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines. Ito po yung 1987 Philippine Constitution. Ngayon, balik po tayo. Article 6, Legislative Department. And then Section 3 po. No person shall be a senator unless he is a natural-born citizen of the Philippines. Pero wag po tayo dyan pumunta kasi naging senator na po si Congressman Uy. Punta po tayo sa House of Representatives. Okay, so Section 6 po. No person shall be a member of the House of Representatives unless he is a natural-born citizen of the Philippines. Okay, so very specific po talaga pag member of the House of Representatives. So yung member of the House of Representatives po, in simpler terms, ito po yung representative and or congressman na term. Okay, so it's very specific po under Section 6 sa atin na dapat natural-born citizen of the Philippines. So ang next question natin, ano ba ibig sabihin talaga ng natural-born? Plus way ko po para ma-explain yung natural-born is if you acquired citizenship as a Filipino without you doing anything to perfect it. Yan po yung definition yan. Meaning, pag panganak sa'yo, meron ka pa bang ginawa na any act para maging considered ka as Filipino citizen? Kung wala na po, you are considered as a natural-born citizen under the 1987 Philippine Constitution. Okay? So ngayon, punta po tayo sa question kay Joel, kay Congressman Uy, kung bakit po sinasabi na, kung bakit ko ba to dinidiscuss talaga. Okay? So unang-una po kasi, yung issue talaga as to his citizenship, yun yung main issue dun sa case, 'di ba? Therefore, wala pa pong finality talaga ng decision kung ano talaga yung status ng citizenship niya. Is he a natural-born Filipino citizen po ba? Or is he a naturalized? Okay? So because of that, ayoko po pangunahan naman yung korte. So that is going to be a factual determination po kasi kung ano ba yung nag-govern na facts talaga, circumstances sa kaso niya, at dun lang po lalabas ngayon kung natural-born ba siya or naturalized citizen. For discussion purposes po, let's assume hindi talaga natural-born si Congressman Chua. Ang mangyayari po is, ito po yung in-explain ko. Bakit pwede siya or naging konsehal na siya pero ngayon biglang kine-question yung pagiging congressman po. Yan yung rason. Okay? Pero again, ulitin ko lang po, hindi ko po sinasabing hindi natural-born citizen si Congressman Chua. Okay? This is just for discussion purposes. Kasi po yung isa sa mga questions din na nakikita ko na bakit daw before naging konsehal tas ngayon hindi naging congressman. So in-explain ko lang. Again, this is just for discussion and educational purposes. I am not giving a conclusion na hindi talaga natural-born citizen si Congressman Chua. Okay? Bahala na po yung COMELEC dyan mag-decide kasi nandun na po yun Bahala sila mag-determine ng facts at i-apply nila yung batas dun sa facts na ma-present ng both parties. Okay? So ngayon punta po tayo sa next question natin. So ngayon, ang next po natin, paano naman yung SC decision na bawal na ang second placer rule sa kaso na ito? Okay. So ito kasi yung medyo mainit talaga ngayon. Lahat ng tao tumatalo na dito, nakalimutan na tong step 1, yung status pa lang na nasa COMELEC pa nga lang po tayo. Pero anyway, let's also discuss this. Okay, so kung makikita po ninyo, Supreme Court en banc, Datu Pax Ali Magunda Datu, petitioner versus the COMELEC. Okay, GR number, so on and so forth. Tingnan nyo na lang po sa Supreme Court website, i-search nyo lang po ito, lalabas naman eh. Okay, and then promulgated April 22, 2025. Yan. So ito po yung magandang issue ngayon. Since this one was promulgated on April 22, 2025. Okay, so ibig sabihin po ng promulgated, yan yung official announcement na ginawa ng Supreme Court sa public regarding the case. So pag na-promulgate na po ng Supreme Court yung isang kaso, ibig sabihin po niyan that already forms part of the quote-unquote law of the land. Okay, yung decision ng korte na to. So since this was promulgated April 22, tapos yung decision ng COMELEC division was on June 18, 2025, dapat itong decision na to is sinundan na dapat din ng COMELEC. However lang kasi in this case, ang problem lang is ito kasing petitioner dito is a governor, local candidate po siya. Whereas yung case po against Congressman Abante and Congressman Chua involves the national position, specifically as a congressman or member of the House of Representatives. Okay? So kung makita po kasi natin dito sa page 34, in fine, the court hereby abandons the second placer rule and declares that the rules on succession under the LGC shall apply in all cases where a permanent vacancy results from a local elective official's disqualification from office regardless of the proceedings involved. So ang sinabi dito ng Supreme Court yan, the Vice Governor of Sultan Kudarat shall fill up the permanent vacancy caused by the cancellation of Pax Ali COC. So yung second placer rule po pala, bigyan ko na lang din kayo ng brief summary lesson dito. Second placer rule kasi, if ang isa pong kandidato ma-disqualify, hindi talaga disqualify pero quote-unquote disqualify po para mas maintindihan nyo, mas madali nyo maintindihan, under Section 78 of the Omnibus Election Code, ang epekto po niyan, makakancel yung Certificate of Candidacy on the ground of material misrepresentation. So pag na-cancel po yung COC because of yung material misrepresentation, ang epekto po niyan, it is equivalent to there being no COC actually filed. Okay? So kung wala talagang COC actually filed, kahit na po nasama sa printing of ballots yung name ng kandidato, lahat po na magiging boto in favor of that candidate is parang walang botong nangyari kasi yung equivalent nga po, di ba, parang wala talagang kandidatong nangyari since na-cancel yung Certificate of Candidacy. Yan po yung epekto or yan po yung tinatawag kaya ngayon nagkaroon ng second placer rule since yung kahit siya po yung first place tas na-cancel COC niya, it is equivalent to him not being actually there theoretically or legally speaking. Therefore, yung second placer parang siya lang yung binoto or in short, yung second placer yung parang nakakuha ng majority vote. Pero dito ngayon, in-overturn niya ng Supreme Court kasi it defeats the very essence of a Republican electoral system, our electoral process. Kasi bakit daw yung number 2 gagawing automatic na panalo kung hindi naman siya yung totoong binoto? So for me, this is actually a very good decision by the Supreme Court kasi kahit ako po hindi ako pabor dun sa second placer rule kasi it is unfair to the electorate po diba? Because of mga technical procedures, technical delays kasi alam naman po natin diba minsan kahit tapos na yung election, sa sobrang bagal po ng process natin, sa dami po ng pending cases, backlogs, mga clogged dockets po ng courts natin, yung decision po ng mga ganitong cases, nakaupo na, tapos na yung term, tas dun lang lumalabas, kaya nagkakaganon pong issue. Pero at least ngayon, kinlarify na to ng Supreme Court na wala nang ganon yung second placer rule. But anyway, medyo napalayo po tayo kasi napadiscuss na tuloy ako. Pero anyway, going back to the question po natin, will this strictly apply po ba to the case of Congressman Joey Chua and Congressman Abante? So currently po, ang diniscuss dito ng Supreme Court, to be specific, is yung under ng local government code, yung mga local candidates. However, if we apply the legal theory behind yung it defeats nga yung Republican electoral process natin, pwede siya i-argue ni Congressman Joey Chua na mag-govern din siya dito sa case niya. Pero yun nga, strictly speaking, hindi mo lang pwede sabihin na ito agad yung papasok dun sa case na yun kasi LGC to, specifically may sinabi nga about succession eh. Sa Congress po kasi walang succession, di ba? Kasi one-on-one fight lang naman po yung mga congressman eh. So again, in summary po, strictly speaking, we cannot strictly apply this doctrine following the succession principles laid down here. However, yung legal theory or legal principle na ginamit dito, pwede siya gamitin as argument. Okay? So yung maganda dito, kung gamitin yan ngayon ni Congressman Joey Chua yung argument na to, umabot sa Supreme Court, at least ngayon, posibleng magkaroon na rin tayo ng clarity kung ito bang second placer rule na tinanggal will also apply po ba to congressional candidates. Okay? So again, this is going to be a very interesting case. Kung ako po tatanungin, we can argue na we can use this theory, tapos tanggalin lang natin of course yung second portion regarding succession in relation to LGC provisions. Doon lang tayo mag-stick po sa provision yung violation of the electoral process, so on and so forth. So yan po yung maging decision. So ngayon, let's go to our final question. Pero before po pala tayo pumunta dun sa final question, ito muna ipakita ko na lang. Ayan, ito po. The majority abandoned the second placer rule for lack of legal basis and for being inconsistent with the essence of republicanism. Okay? So yan po yung magandang argument. So this one can be used by Congressman Joey Chua Uy, itong legal principle. Pero of course, i-disregard nyo na yung mga provisions regarding succession and the local government code kasi wala namang ganun po sa Congress. Pero this one lang po yung ito. Yan. Inconsistent with the essence of republicanism. So I'm very excited na naman po tayo na sana umabot to. I mean, ako po kung pansin nyo, dami kong sinasabi na sana umabot sa Supreme Court kasi these are very good legal issues. Kung ikaw po kasi abogado, you are a practicing lawyer, you are a practicing litigant, it is very nice to have these clarifications. Lalo na po kung medyo pasok din po sa legal position mo, yung position ng Supreme Court. Diba? Kasi kahit ako po before pa lang kine-question ko yung second placer rule kasi yun na nga, it defeats the essence of the electoral process and then in effect daw parang walang candidate tapos na yung election. So medyo magulo po ba? But at least it is already clarified by the Supreme Court. Ngayon sana magkaroon pa tayo ng further clarification all the way up to the congressional level po. Okay? So, ang pinaka-conclusion po natin, or number 5 po, sino sa ngayon ang totoong congressman ng Manila 6th District? As of the time of this recording, June 23, 2025, ang totoong congressman pa rin po ng Manila 6th District is still si Congressman Joel Chua Uy po. Siya pa rin po talaga yung congressman. Again, because number 1, nasa COMELEC division pa lang po, nasa more or less, nasa NBank pa lang nag-MR, wala pa po sa Supreme Court. Therefore, yung masusunod pa rin po talaga is yung proclamation na ginawa in favor of Congressman Joel Chua Uy. Okay? Kasi yung decision ng COMELEC, gusto nila ipa-annul yung proclamation tas i-declare si Congressman Abante. However, since wala pa nga pong finality yun, mag-MR pa sa or pwede pang mag-MR sa NBank tapos later on pwede pa mag-appeal sa Supreme Court. So yung susundin pa rin po talaga ngayon is the actual proclamation already done in favor po of Congressman Joel Chua Uy. So ngayon, ang mangyayari na lang, dapat manumpa na si Congressman Joel Chua Uy at mag-assume siya ng office para masabing fully functioning congressman na talaga siya during the pendency of this case. Okay? So hanggang dyan lang po muna yung discussion natin. Kung gusto niyo po ng ibang legal educational videos,